We recently sat down with the playwright and cast of In the Garden, an original musical commissioned by Brucemore in 2025. The interview covered many topics, including art and community need for cultural opportunities.
I think going and seeing art live, any type of art like music or theater or visual art, I think that it can be really inspiring for people not just to become artists themselves, but to just go out and to live their lives and live their lives to the fullest and to be bold and take chances and be inspiring to people to live their best lives.
There are so many things that happen here beyond theater, beyond just the mansion, beyond performance. My kids every year of their elementary school, and I think even middle school, have come here for a field trip. And they love it. They're here, they're either talking about animals, or they're talking about architecture, or they're talking about art. And it's something that feeds, again, woo-woo, it's something that feeds the soul. Art feeds the soul. And without art, and when a society diminishes art, they start to become soulless. Art has a tendency to kind of go to the wayside. It's my firm belief that that's the time that we need art the most, when we're hurting, when we're feeling less hope. Art is the thing that gives us that special interior oomph to keep going, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in art, whether you're, I know for me personally, there have been stories, shows that I've seen, music that I've heard from shows, performances that I've done that have changed me as a person, that I've literally, I've felt in my soul. And theater and art has brought me so much joy and sometimes sadness and emotion and growth and all of those things. There's nowhere else you can experience it. And also the other thing about theater and community is I have met so many wonderful people, my lifelong friends and the people that I've known. I've got, wonderful friends and girlfriends and relationships that I've created because of theater.
Yeah. And with community and how the community can invest, I think a lot of it is taking chances on art, just like we talked about. We all took chances on this production. It's the audience also took a chance because they didn't know what they were going to see. They didn't know what they were buying a ticket for. I mean, there was a vague description on the website, but it was vague for a reason. That's right. And it's because it's easy, it's a big title like a Hair's Spray or Frozen. They're great, wonderful things, but they're accessible and the masses know them and can watch it on their TV and say, oh, I like that show, and so I'm going to buy a ticket and I'm going to go to see that. But for people to show up and come to things that are different or new and they'd never seen before, and to take that chance of, I'm going to do this and I'm going to spend my evening this way and I'm going to spend my resource and my time this way to see this and appreciate this thing, and take a chance, take the risk, and trust the people. And I think it can be a good or a bad experience, taking a chance on something. You're like, oh, I know I don't like that now, or I would never see that again, or that's an amazing thing that I want to learn more about. I think that's a big part of it, Yeah, taking a chance.
I think it is also important to understand that none of this would have happened if Brucemore didn't have a set of donors, if they didn't have patrons that would support the art and give funding to an idea, and that's kind of what Brucemore did in this particular case. At least from my perspective, they invested in you to create a story. They invested in Gerard to come up with the music. They invested in us, but they couldn't make those investments if you didn't have the community just providing that support to begin with. And I think that that was actually, I said I was terrified, but I was terrified because there is that responsibility, that I think that I felt that we had to tell the best story that we possibly could because of all the people that have donated to make this happen in the first place, and all the people that donated that were sitting in the audience, and yeah, that was real special to kind of see that whole thing, to understand all the people that had to be involved, even before you started writing, um, in order to make this story occur.
Yeah, I've worked with a lot of different theaters in Eastern Iowa. Um, so my second show at Brucemore, and it's definitely one of the best places to do theater, like outdoors. Definitely.
Definitely.
Jason said it earlier. I mean, art reflects the soul, right? Um, and if a contributor believes that, I can tell you firsthand that this Brucemore organization is going to take very good care of that donation that you might give. The staff here, the artists that they hire, the way they treated us as artists, was incredibly. It was very professional. It was very courteous, and the money was well spent. From my perspective, from where I sat, this was a very well done. Everybody took the art incredibly seriously, and if it were my money, that would be something that I would want to know. That my money got used for something that was seriously considered and seriously used.